What's going on? This is My Life in the Shop. I'm your host, Donald Washington. I'm going to bring you guys to 26-year-old Chantell Grant. Also, 36-year-old Andrea Stoudemire. This happened on 75th and Stewart on the south side of Chicago. These two young women were both mothers of 4. This is what makes it even that much more tragic. Also, they were involved in a group mask, Mothers Against Senseless Killings, on the same corner that they were out to protect is exactly where this happened. Now, somebody else was shot. Another man was shot. They don't believe that these two was intended targets. However, something is very, very funny going on in Chicago. Dr. Umar Johnson always says he thinks it's mercenaries just out, whether it's mercenaries from other countries, police officers, whatever it may be, allegedly doing some of these killings. Because if you guys remember, 22-year-old Akila Addison, she was gunned down on July 4th. Just out the blue. She was outside dancing on July 4th. Somebody just walk out the blue and murder her. That is bananas. This happened again. Same thing happened in St. Louis where activists were just coming up missing. It's just totally strange that these young, beautiful women, just for no apparent reason, just out of the blue. I could see a boyfriend or something at the house, maybe. An ex-boyfriend broke up with, but none of this is the case. Also, nobody's going to jail for none of these murders. Something ain't adding up. Nobody's getting caught for none of these murders, and just senseless, just people out the blue, just with no enemies, not gang banging, activists trying to keep the peace, or just a young girl having fun on the 4th of July, and somebody just walks up out the blue, boom. And every 4th of July, they want to see stats of how many people died. Last year, it was like 30-something people shot, 7 died. This year was the same thing. And just like if you watch The Purge, they gave everybody the tools to go kill yourself. But then nobody started killing themselves. So they sent out mercs to go out and just murder people. To say, see, look at the stats. Look at the stats. We must continue this purge. Look at the stats. It's it right there in black and white. Says it right there. They're killing each other. What also is very, very suspicious is that there's cameras on every corner in Chicago. This camera was hacked to get this footage. This young girl was shot while she was holding her 1-year-old son, I believe it was. But somebody hacked that camera and got this footage and released it. But every time there's a murder in Chicago, they claim they don't know who did it, how it happened, what happened. They're just throwing their hands up. But they're never releasing the footage. If this footage wasn't hacked, it would have never been released. So now, let's talk about Chantell Grant and Andrea Stoudemire. Was there a camera out there when they got shot? This is 75th and Stewart. I got this from Google Maps. Check it out. What you see right there is a camera. Yep. For those of you who did not see that, that is a camera right there. I'm going to pause it. That right there is a camera. That's a camera. This murder should be on camera. But I'm sure it's not going to be released to somebody unless somebody hacks that camera and releases the footage themselves. But that's very funny how every weekend 30-some-odd people shot, at least 7 to 14 people killed every weekend. No videotapes, no evidence, no suspects, no nothing. Not even 15% of the murders in Chicago are solved. But there's cameras on every single corner. And unless it's hacked, we won't see it. Now, this is the YouTube, Facebook page of Mothers Against Senseless Killings. This is so sad on so many levels because they actually got out there and was helping protect the community. They actually sat out there so people could feel safe and that people would know that eyes and ears are watching out there. Help kids get to school safe. Did everything correctly. Seeking justice for the mothers killed, their families, neighborhood. People are tired of being afraid. And like they should. If you're poor, very poor. But when women are killed, it's not their fault. It's not because they made bad decisions. It's not that they're wrong place, wrong time. It's time for men. Black men are getting killed and they're poor. Black men live in their homes. Women, blah, blah, blah. Point of this. We want to do something about it. So they're offering an award up to $10,000. Offering an award to up to $10,000. And I'm also bringing you another activist that was just talking about that. And they're taking donations. And so here's the GoFundMe. Let's check it out together. Wow. Okay, so they made more than their target goal of 5,000. They're at 13,000, and I like to see that. I like to see that. The murder of a woman brought to our corner, 75th and Stewart. There are so many. There's no way we're going to let this murder of more moms drive us away. We deserve to live without fear, and the young women, Chantell Grant and Andrea Stoudemire, who are torn from their children, families tonight, deserve justice. Yes, so this is their GoFundMe. Stand Against Fear. Hashtag Stand Against Fear. Make sure you guys donate to this cause. Stand Against Fear. Enough is enough. I'm going to try to share this and make sure I have a link to this. So if you guys want to donate, you can to this cause. I definitely want to see justice in this case and make sure that these murderers go to jail. Because if these murders are not caught, they're going to be left on the street to do what? To murder again. This is senseless killing. These are our women that are being brutally murdered. So this is actually...
their last breaths, I'm sure they didn't say, you know what, I want them to go kill whoever killed us, whoever killed me. I know they thought about their kids. What's going to happen to my babies? Yes. I know that was the last thing they thought because they were mothers, and that's what mothers think. That's what we think about. Before we think about ourselves, we always think about our children. And now their children are thinking about, who did this to my mama? Who did this? Their mothers are thinking, who did this to my daughter? These are questions that no mother should ever have to ask. These are questions that no child should ever have to ask. It is our responsibility to give our sisters justice, to seek justice for our sisters, to seek justice for our families, because that's what we would want somebody to do for us if we were in that position. So, I don't know what anybody else is doing, but today we're going to be putting up a GoFundMe. We're raising $5,000 for a reward that leads to the arrest and conviction of whoever killed our sisters. Because they have to know, this is unacceptable. You can't kill mothers. You can't do that. You can't kill women. You can't do that. Who's going to raise your kids if you're killing all the women? Who's going to do that? Enough is enough. I'm tired of being scared. Ain't y'all tired? Ain't you tired of not being able to come out the house when you want to come out the house? Aren't you tired of 14-year-olds with guns? Aren't you tired of that? At some point, we have to just say enough is enough. And my point was yesterday at the house. Aren't you tired of 14-year-olds tired of being scared? Who's going to do that? Enough is to kill women. You can't do that. Who's going to raise your kids if you're killing all the women?
One thing I hate, one thing that does, that breaks my heart is that 73 to 90% of our children do not have fathers. And it's normal, and it's like a given. So she's saying, if the women are being killed, who's going to raise the children? As if it's expected to not have a father. That's very sad in our communities, and it breaks my heart that everybody knows that, and it's just like a given. If the women get killed, who's going to raise the child? Because there's no fathers in our communities. There's no fathers raising these children. It's like a given. That's sad.
We aren't going to be afraid anymore. We aren't going to be afraid to show up. We aren't going to be able to sit out. And we aren't going to be afraid to live in a place where they've killed people. We're not going to be afraid to do that. We aren't moving anywhere. We aren't going anywhere. So I just want to let everybody know.
So they are having a GoFundMe. I want you guys to go take a look at that. Share this video, get the word out that there is a reward, and that we want these people caught that are doing the killings in our communities. We have to stand up, and nobody's coming to help us. Nobody's coming to save us. We must understand that this is an issue that we must address in our communities. There's a lot of good groups out here in Chicago. This was one of them. Mothers Against Senseless Killings. Once somebody's doing positive, you rarely hear about them. However, they was out there. There's also other groups like New Era Chicago. They're out there trying to make a difference in our communities. We have to be proactive. We can't wait for these our women and children to die and then try to get proactive. We must do it now. It is a state of emergency. Something is going on. And it must come from us, because we know that nobody else is going to help and solve this problem, us. One of the ways we could do it, I like to talk about solutions on my YouTube channel. One of the solutions is group economics. We must shop at the businesses in our communities and start our own businesses. Because if we can employ our children, they don't have to stand on the corner, gangbang, sell drugs, and be hopeless, and what leads to this violence. Anyway, I want you guys to understand, this is my motto here.
How long are you going to cry and blame your oppressor before you get up off your knees and do it your goddamn self?
Yes, that's my motto. I'm going to do it again. I kind of goofed it up.
How long are you going to cry and blame your oppressor before you get up off your knees and do it your goddamn self?
Yes, it's about time we get up off our knees and do it ourselves. Let me tell you, I'm going to show you guys what the police think. Here's how the police feel about you. This is who we're waiting to save us. Look what he's doing. This was the memorial. Look what he's doing. Kicking those candles up. They put out candles for these two young girls. Memorial on that street corner. This is what the cop does. Right there in the middle of their memorial service. This is who we're waiting to save us. Anyway, I want you guys to like, comment. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, My Life in the Shy. Peace, peace.